Hey guys, Lucas here from Rants and Ice, and I got a special friend here named Bobby, and he's got an awesome YouTube channel you gotta go check out. Link is down below, called Ross Productions. And Bobby, how's it going?
Doing pretty good, man. How about you?
Awesome, awesome. I'm doing good, doing good. So what I like to do is, with every Panther fan I have come on, I like to get their history on how and why they become a Florida Panthers fan.
Well, I wasn't really a fan when I first got into. Like my cousin, he's the one that really got me into it. It was like early 2000s. He was a huge Florida Panthers fan. He would always go to the games, and whenever he spent the night at my house, we would always watch them play on TV. And it was like I enjoyed it, but I wasn't really considered a fan. But then around 2010, that's when I really became a fan of it because that's when he was started coming over again, and he was showing me the games, and that's when I became like a regular viewer for the games. And I finally went to my first game in 2014 when they played against Nashville Predators for the 2013-14 season, and yeah, I've been a fan ever since.
Awesome, awesome. Glad to have you on board. This is definitely exciting time to be a Florida Panther fan,
Oh,
and they started off now in the first four games, 3-1 in this early season. First time since 2011-12 when they made the playoffs, and every season they have started either 3-1 or better. They've made the playoffs, so we're already in a good boat right now.
we're currently sixth overall in the league, I believe, so
Yep.
that's pretty good.
And third in the Atlantic, which is probably going to be the toughest division in the whole NHL. So to
Hey,
be up
so
there
far we're holding out
top
on them,
that early
so.
is really good. All right, so let's go ahead and dive into this game. We beat Buffalo by a score of 3-1, I believe. Correct, right?
Buffalo, 3-2. Yeah,
3-2. There we go. Yep.
it's all right.
Jagr had two goals, power play goal, and assist. So he handed all three games, and he's in the top for scoring in the whole NHL too. Like I did not see him doing this well for us this early. Like again, it's like he's in his 20s.
Maybe it's the mullet that he's bringing back.
Yeah, could be. Speaking of mullets, I unfortunately can't really grow a mullet.
But you're growing
So
the Ekblad beard.
yeah, so I'm growing the
Ekblad
Ekblad beard. This is day, I think we're in day
7, I
seven.
believe. Yeah,
Yeah, I started it Saturday, so it's slowly getting there. But yeah, and then the line he's on, Jagr Barkov, he scored the other goal. That line's just been unbelievable. Him, Huberdeau, and Jagr so far this season.
good combination. I really like that.
Yeah, it's when Jagr came on board with the Cats and back last season, he just seemed to rejuvenate Barkov and Huberdeau.
They just seemed to bring the life. He brought the life back to the team.
Yep, absolutely, absolutely. So in the first period, though, there ended up actually being a delay, and they ended up playing the rest of the first period in the second period because the broken glass.
hmm And it was weird because for the first time I've ever seen while watching hockey, that they immediately they went on a little delay. I forgot it was like 30-minute delay or something, and they when they finished off the first period, they immediately went back into they immediately started the second intermission. So and I think that went to our advantage a little bit because right away we scored. So I think
Yeah,
we were
that was
more ready
awesome.
for that.
Yeah, no, I've never seen that either when watching a game. Like, we've had times where the infamous plywood glass, which actually was just the tape on the glass against the Red Wings a couple of years ago, and
That
they
was
just
horrible.
continued to play. They just had a delay for like a good half hour, but then they ended up still playing it. And again,
Whatever
went
happened to those fans? I noticed. Did they stay in those seats, or did they like relocate them, or like what
no, there's a
happened?
guy that's still staying in that seat for some reason.
Uh, that's
Yeah,
horrible that you can't even see in front of you, and you're not allowed to move.
no.
Uh,
So, um,
only in Florida.
yeah, exactly, exactly. Now, there was one thing, though, definitely in this game that irked me, and we talked about this earlier, the attendance. after a sellout in the season opener, we were ranked first, be it a one game for highest percentage of people at capacity that we can hold. And then we go into this game, it's only not even
11,000.
12,000. And it's like you thought, okay, well, this is over. We're finally going to be the end of the jokes of Florida can't sell tickets and fill the arena. And then we have this. And a lot of excuses I saw from people from Florida is like, oh, it's a Thursday night in Florida. Oh, the traffic's bad. Oh, Panther
It is pretty bad though, I'll admit. But yeah, and with the tickets this low with $20, yeah, I don't think there's really an excuse. I'll admit maybe I should be going to more games myself, but I'll admit I'm kind of in a money struggle myself, But I try to go at least maybe once every other month.
Yeah. And then again, it's the like you said, they're cheap. You can even go on StubHub and get tickets for like $10. There was I remember last year, and a lot of people know this on Twitter. We had a huge amount of snow up here, and the Bruins actually outdrew us one of those games where we had gone crushed with snow, and the T was closed, and that's a huge thing to be able to go to see the Bruins at TD Garden because it drops you off right there, the green line. And
was that the same time when you made a video talking about it was called like the Quebec Panthers?
Yes.
You were talking about the low attendance. Yeah, I remember that.
It's just dumb. I'm just dumbfounded. Like I went to the game when the Bruins played the Panthers up here in Boston, and the bleacher seats, okay, up balcony, $100 I had to spend. You can get center ice, perfect views in Florida for like $70.
It's $50.
Yeah,
the good seats. Yeah.
So it's what else you got to add with the attendance? Anything?
I'll admit it. Yeah, it's not good for the Panthers, but it kind of happens for every hockey team. It happened to the Blackhawks in the mid 2000s, if you remember. And if you also remember, I showed you the chart of like the average attendance, and we were beating Chicago before they started winning the Stanley Cup. And I also noticed, or if you also noticed, was during when we were playing against the Carolina Hurricanes, their attendance was low too. And
that's pretty bad.
And after that game, I went over to watch New Jersey on the NHL Center ice, and their attendance was low too. So I'm always wondering, why do we get the flack? Is it just because we're a South Florida team, or?
I think that's it. Because Arizona, they also get flack about not filling up their arenas as well.
But when a team up north gets bad attendance, no one really says anything. But when a Florida team, like a South Florida team like us, or not just South Florida, but Southern teams get a low attendance, suddenly everyone wants us to relocate to Quebec. It's like, come on, every team's gonna have that.
Exactly.
I mean, look at the Dolphins right now.
We sell out. We like back when we made the playoffs in 2011-12. That next season, we sold out. I think about 70% of the games we played that strike shortened season. So we just gotta win. They just gotta keep doing what they're doing. So. One other thing I do want to add is the PK and the power play has just been phenomenal this season for the Cats compared to last season's. I think we're in the top 10 in penalty kill, and I believe even the top 15 for power play as well.
Oh, yeah, very good. Definitely, like you said, a lot better than last year, and the power play goals have been improving, especially last night's game. They really showed. Because before, you remember, whenever we got a penalty, it was like we would never score. In fact, we would get shorthanded goals, against us. It was.
Yep. Now I like the four. I think that's helped too. The power play is the four forwards. That's really, I think, has rejuvenated the power play, and we've done really well so far with it. So.
And the one thing I got to add though is while we were good with penalty kills, we should have avoided a lot of penalties. I forgot who it was. Trocheck, I believe, that he kept on getting penalized.
Yes, yep. No, it was a sloppy game. It definitely was a sloppy game. And even Jagr said it. The post-game interview, he's like, yeah, we got lucky. and we don't want to be lucky. We want to just outright win, you know.
Agreed.
So that's what's different about this team too, is just their whole attitude about winning and losing. It's like okay, yeah, we're not happy with that. We just got the win because
Mhm.
we didn't play the game we should have played to win. We should have dominated Buffalo. So
Yeah, I was afraid that they were gonna get scored on like the last minute. that
yeah,
last minute just lasted forever, and I was sweating bullets all minute.
you know,
I was like, oh god, the Sabres are gonna get one on us at the end.
yeah, and then we'll go to 3-on-3 and then probably lose it. And
What's your
then
thought? What is your thoughts on the 3-on-3 overtime?
um, honest, I haven't seen any games yet in the regular season with 3-on-3. So I like the concept though. I think it's gonna be a lot. It's obviously working. There's not as many shootouts, which are, as we all know, as Panther fans are. You know, I had no nails left last season after all the shootouts we went to.
Oof. Especially the one when it was the longest shootout in NHL history.
Yeah, that was just crazy. I
Oh my god,
just
when we won that, me and my brother were losing our
yeah,
oh
it
man,
was
we
great.
were ecstatic. It
I
was good.
love that part too on the broadcast during that guy that was like that. I just
I
I
remember.
couldn't stop laughing when I saw that. So, but that's all I got on the game. Bobby, you got anything you'd like to add?
Nothing else about the game. Although, we're going back to the overtime. What do you think the shootout? They should keep the shootout at all? Because I think what they should do is like for the first overtime, they should just have 4-on-4 and then 3-on-3. What would you think of that?
Yeah, I think they should get rid of the shootouts. I just they
There's nothing wrong with a tie.
exactly. I don't have any problems with ties. Again, it's a skill competition pretty much.
Hmm.
The shootout. You know, if you have the best players that can score in the shootout, or you know, you're gonna win most of the time.
Yeah,
So,
I'm trying to think. How do you think we're gonna do against Dallas?
um, Dallas is a pretty high scoring team. I think we just gotta stick to our system. You know, we gotta stick to the way we play disciplined game. A lot better than we played the other night. You know, don't get into the box too much.
Yeah,
Score that first goal, and you know, just keep putting the pedal to the metal.
keep adding the pressure to the team.
What was that?
Keep adding pressure to the Stars.
Yeah,
Dallas.
absolutely. Like I said, they are a high-powered offense, so you know you could get a 2-0 lead, and then bam, they're up 3-2. So you can't sit back on a lead with a team like Dallas. So
Agreed. And even though it's early on, I'm very happy that we're this high up in the standings because usually we're not.
yeah,
You like,
exactly.
I remember you were talking about how like we'll usually do good the first game, but then like the next like 5 games or something, we would just blow.
Yep.
I remember one time we played against Dallas and we won 5-0, and then we lost like the next 3 games, I believe. I forgot if it was like 2 seasons ago. It was for the season opener.
Yeah, it was a couple of years ago. We lost to St. Louis 7-0. Then lost, I think, to Philly 2-1. Then I think we lost. Then we lost again, and then we finally won our home opener. So
So
yeah,
that's why I was kind of like, oh god, here we go again. When we lost to Philly 1-0, I was like, oh god, here we go, history
yep,
repeating itself. But luck, it was kind of different because it was just a 1 point game, whereas the other games were just big blowouts. It was
yeah,
just a good close.
exactly.
It was a close game between us and Philly, and I'll be looking forward to the Dallas game.
Yeah, definitely. Me too.
And
So
next game I'll be going to is when they play against Boston on the 30th.
nice,
I'll
nice.
be making sure to go in a lot more.
Yeah, definitely. You know, it's team. You know, it's exciting to watch. You know,
Because usually
definitely.
I try to go for the good seats because I was like, I don't know if it's worth it going in the bleachers, especially that back then they were a lot more expensive. Now they're just $20. I'm like, hell yeah, I'll drive. I'll
Yeah,
drive 45 minutes to see that game if it's just $20. If the bleachers, like you said, the top, I'd be willing to go.
yeah, absolutely. Again, it's a fun experience. You know, I when I went down there in March, it was the best time of my life. You know, I had so much fun being
Oh,
with other Panther fans. You know, when I'm up here in Boston seeing a game, I'm usually
you're in
by
hostile
myself, and
territory.
it's so horrible.
And I remember when I went to my first Panthers game back in when they played against Nashville 2 years ago. It was no, actually 1 year ago. I'm sorry. Yeah, it was an awesome experience. And I remember they won in the shootout, so we got to see everything, the overtime and the shootout, and it was awesome.
Nice, nice. All right, so that's all I got. Thanks for coming on, Bobby. I really appreciate it. It was good. I enjoyed it.
Thanks for letting me being on your channel.